I never make it back in time. How is everybody? Can you hear me all right? Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Let's talk to everybody for a little bit. How is everybody? Can y'all hear me? Check 1, 2. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are live with Planet CHH, the best live show on earth, the best physical media channel in the game today. Well, maybe not the best, but I mean, I'm at least top 100. I'm top 100, right? Listen, this show is going to be interesting. I wanted to do this show because I think sometimes it's okay to vent. I think sometimes it's okay to speak your mind. And I will say this, guys. We got a lot of comments to go through tonight. Like somebody pointed out last time, I keep my my streams when they're live ad free, so there's no interruptions. And we're gonna go through a lot of comments tonight. If you don't have to, but if you super chat, we stop immediately what we're doing. We're gonna do your super chats tonight, so there's that. But we got a lot of comments, so I'm gonna talk to the chat, say hello to everybody in just a second. What we did the other night or the other day was I made a post on here, and I said, listen, guys, what is your complaints with physical media? What is your complaints with the world of physical media right now? Because I feel like everybody's got, everybody has their issues, and I want to know what it is, because my thing is this: as I've learned, you never know who's watching. Okay. So this is what I will say in regards to the Dark Sky chainsaw. I have been in contact, and I'm going to keep this private, but I will let you, the audience, know this. I have been in contact with Dark Sky Films. They understood where I was coming from. They understood how I felt about the price drop at the convention, and we've made amends. We had a meeting of the minds on it together, and out of respect to them, I'm gonna keep private what I did. No, it's not like they just gave me a refund on the thing or anything, but I understood where they're coming from. They understood where I'm coming from. Me and Dark Sky Films are cool. We have no issues now. I will not publicly disparage the chainsaw set. Do I still think it's overpriced? Of course I do. Absolutely. Of course I do. But I will not publicly disparage or make fun of the chainsaw set, bro. We are cool. Me and Dark Sky are on good terms now. So listen, what I did the other day, let's say hi to everybody. We got Retro Ryan, Movie Junkie John, Akeem Patterson. What's up, Akeem? Saturn Video, Jay Dobbsy, Cool Duder's mom in the house, Gamer Guys Review, Chris Cullen, D, Sergio Garza, Darnell. Yeah, it's Dornell, right? Dino Jaskowski, Horror Movie Guy, Ian James Andy, Z Pam 1996. What's up, brother? Davey Deathray, how are you? Antanas, how are you? Austin, how are you? Adrian James, John Doe Juggalo, Cheese, Witch Hunter, Lone Wolf, Jedi of Gotham, Vanderhoff, Movie Junkie John, Spider-Man 1408, D, Sean Sr. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Let's have a good time tonight. All right, guys, we're going to get into this because I actually think there will be comments that I pull up on here that some of you guys won't agree with, because that's the thing about criticisms and complaints. As a YouTuber, because I hate the term content creator, it sounds so pretentious, but as a YouTuber, you put out your opinion on the internet, and wouldn't you know it, people disagree with what you have to say. Now, you don't last as long as I have without learning how to deal with it and be respectful of other people disagreeing with what you have to say, because in reality, my opinion is no better or worth anything more than anybody else's, guys. But with that being said, with the situation of the chainsaw set with Dark Sky, and with other instances that I've had lately with physical media, I have had issues, and I wanted to know if you, the audience, had issues. So I have over 100 comments from people. We're going to look at a lot of them. We're going to look at a lot of them and decide whether we agree with some of these criticisms, whether we think they're not fair or things of that nature. So with that being said, guys, we're going to get started and we'll see what you guys think. Here we go. Look who's in the chat. Guys, later on up here in a minute, I will probably see if B Money wants to hop on to give his take. But let's get started with some of this stuff. Yes, gamer guys, like I said, I am not going to I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I am not going to be disrespectful to Dark Sky because I have had conversations with them where we're cool, but I definitely agree. It was the chainsaw is definitely a sore subject. Okay, so let's get started, guys. I'm going to pull up the first comment. And not only am I going to read it, I want to know what you guys think. And some of you in here might see your own comment being read on here. So let's see, guys. Let's go. All right, so I asked the question. Guys, we have over 100 comments. As a matter of fact, let me make myself bigger. That way it's not super intrusive. All right, here we go. Let's sort by top comments. Okay, one of the first complaints is this. The real Shankla Van Dam said Amazon burying the physical copy on their website. Even if you type Blu-ray, all they show you are streaming options. Anybody in the chat right now, my question is, has any of you guys ever, because I get comments from people a lot. I'll get comments from people that will say, hey man, how did you pre-order X, Y, or Z on Amazon? And wouldn't you know it, they never learned the trick that I had to do, which it's not really a trick. It's more so a glitch, guys. But they would go on Amazon and type in, what have you, in a violent nature, which is, I think actually did work. But I have had a number of instances where I go to Amazon to pre-order a movie. You type it in, does not show up. You go to Google and type in a violent nature Blu-ray, lo and behold, that link will show up. It's definitely a problem. I don't know why, how Amazon can have that happen. And for the people that, like Zen says, yes, Amazon always buries stuff. It's impossible to find pre-orders. For the people that ask me about this, here's the thing I'll tell you right now. By the way, guys, please drop a like on the show. We got 117 people here. Here's the thing I'll tell you guys right now. If you ever have that happen and you know this is a movie that's coming out, I'm telling you this right now, just go straight to Google and type in a violent nature Blu-ray. And lo and behold, the Amazon link will show up at the very first. It'll show up in the tippy top. You know, there and Cheetah Man 91 actually brings up something. This is somewhat of a, I wouldn't say a conspiracy, but there is, I think that there might be something there. Cheetah Man 91, which I'm hoping that's a reference to the AVGN, like the old games that AVGN covered. No surprise, Amazon wants you to watch their movie on their streaming service. I do wonder if that could be a hidden reason. That's a good point. I don't know. Straight facts, I can only find Amazon pre-orders through Dawn of the Discs links. There you go. That's another thing, guys. Has anybody, and we may cover this later tonight, because I don't know who these people are. They're anonymous people. But has anybody kept up lately with the physical media page that used to, the person that used to be Disc Father and Dawn of the Discs? Have y'all kept up with the beef between these two? A few days ago, Dawn of the Discs posted on the internet, like, something happened where I think Physical Media made a post about Dawn of the Discs being wrong about something. And then a few days later, Dawn of the Discs responded back and said, this person has harassed X, Y, and Z. Watch out for this, blah, blah, blah. And then that Physical Media page, which I believe is the Disc Father, completely went off of Twitter. Gone. Left it. So there's some trouble there. Now they did post on Dawn of the Discs here we go. We're already getting off the rails here. But Dawn of the Discs did in fact, if you go to their page, they did in fact post links. They had Reddit links. They had all kinds of stuff where there are instances with that page. I have no clue who that is. Obviously, I don't know if anybody does. I think they're anonymous, but I did see that. Now, I myself have not had an issue with said disc father, etc. But then again, I don't interact with these people. I don't pay too much attention to what they're saying. I see the listings as I'm scrolling through, but that's it. So it was news to me. That's something I may look more into. But yeah, there you guys have it. Disc father blocked me because I asked him why such an a-hole all the time. So there you guys have it. So there's that. Let's move on though. Let's move on to a different comment. All right, guys, let's here we go. Here we go. This is the sorted by the most relevant. Dylan Frankish 4052 said stores not stocking physical media and phasing it out completely. That's an issue, but I don't think that's anything people can argue with. The one thing I think people can argue with is the lack of consistency with Walmart, considering they are basically the last company that is storing and stocking physical media. I think most of you guys would probably say my Walmart sucks. They don't stock a goddamn thing. They're bad at this. They don't have things on the shelf properly. There are a number of times where I myself have been at my Walmart. I go on the website, pull up my store, and sure enough, it says they have it. I find somebody and tell them about it, and they'll say, if it's not out here, we don't have it. But I'll say, hey, I believe me. The last thing I want to do is I'm really good at communicating. Like I can talk well with people. I'm somewhat of a salesman, and I'm pretty good at being like, look, ma'am, I understand that. Believe me, I have no desire to give you more work, but the fact is the store link here says you have it. And then they go in the back and they're like, well, look, but I can't promise nothing. And that sort of thing. So Walmart does kind of suck. So we do have a $2 super chat from Robert A. Would you now buy a TCM box set if one was made? Now, Robert A., I'm assuming what you're referencing is like a collection, a complete collection. Oh God, is Brandon here with every page he has? Here we go. Oh, he's talking to himself. I cannot fucking find it. That's because you're an idiot. Don't call him an idiot. All three. Tabata Tunes is definitely the ultimate Tabata page. Robert A. with a $2 super chat. Would you now buy a TCM box? First off, Robert A., thank you so much for the $2. With that, I'll give you a classic.
The best part of eating corn on the cob is when like shit sprays out of it and you hit somebody in the eye with the water.
Facts. Robert A., would you now buy a TCM box? Robert, listen, Robert. I would be interested in a complete box set, but Robert, let me tell you what's going to happen. Okay, let me just tell you what's going to happen. The licensing is all over the place. You not only have Dark Sky with the first movie, you have now Vinegar Syndrome with the licensing to put out the second movie. Warner is doing part 3. Scream Factory has the license at this time for part 4. The remake and prequel, which I think is superior, but that's just my opinion. The beginning are under license directly with Warner themselves. There are a lot of hands in the pie. So with that being said, it's impossible. What can happen, Robert A., is an actual box set that's custom made, meaning something that Blockbuster box set would do, where he puts out a box set with cases and everything, but there's no movies. Kind of like the Halloween one I did a video on. That's what would happen, Robert. There's not going to be a box set of all the movies. It's just not going to happen. So thank you, Robert. Let's move on. Oh crap. Here we go. All right. Jay Crashmore says this, guys. Let's see what you guys think about this. Can you guys see all this? All right. Or do you want me to make it? Do you guys prefer it like this or like this? Do you guys prefer it like this? I'm assuming you guys may like this better. Jay Crashmore says the price trend is troubling. We are seeing an increased number of $100 plus special editions. It feels like rather than pull more consumers in or back into physical media, companies want to make more money from the existing base. The lack of availability in retail stores for general releases is also problematic and limits the market. So basically, the crux of what Jay Crashmore is saying is physical media is definitely more of a niche market now. And are we being exploited? Are we being exploited? I'm going to give you my 2 cents on this, and then I'm going to see what you guys say in the chat, and I'll pull up some of your own comments. The answer is yes and no. And the reason I say that myself, guys, is I don't think you can look at a company like Arrow Video and say they're exploiting customers. As a matter of fact, I would say they are the most well-rounded and balanced company, because what Arrow does is very fair and has always been that way. Number one, Arrow does not exclude their Blu-ray market. Okay, they never have, and I don't think they ever will. What do I mean by that? To this very day, not only do they have 4K releases of movies, but they will do a 4K cut Blu-ray version. What do I mean by that? Look at what happened with the releases that they put out, the collections that they put out, including stuff as recent as their Silence of the Lambs. I wanted to have that Arrow version because I heard it was color timed a little bit differently and looks differently. So I wanted to save a few bucks on it. So I got Arrow's Blu-ray box set of that instead of the 4K. And it does look different, a little bit different from the Kino one. I don't know which one I'd prefer more, but Arrow does not just do they not exclude their Blu-ray market, which is a lot of you may be watching this right now. If I had $1 every time I talk to people that are still Blu-ray people, they're not 4K people. And number two, they never have stuff. Now, there is an interesting thing about Friday the 13th, 2009 we're going to talk about, but 9.99 times out of 10, they have a plan. They put out a limited edition. If you're not interested in that, wait 3 months. Then they release a standard edition of that movie. They give you options, not only for regular or premiere versions, but they also give you options in terms of the format. Now, the stuff that they have going on right now is a different situation. The license and things that they can do with Warner right now in terms of Friday the 13th and Trick or Treat, the way they're able to license those movies from Warner is strictly on a 4K disc, because Warner is the kind of company, based on what Cliff has talked to me about and made me learn about. And if you guys haven't seen that interview I did with Cliff, please go watch that, because you guys would also learn a lot as well, because he really let me into the business side of it. Warner does not want to have a Blu-ray out because Warner still presses their own Blu-rays for these movies. These movies still sell in a general sense, so they don't want to have a competitor to their own movie on Blu-ray. So that's why they licensed Friday the 13th out as strictly a 4K disc with all the features on just the 4K disc and not a Blu-ray version. Same thing with Trick or Treat. That's the business model that they have to work with Warner Brothers. So I understand that, right? So I think, yes, but of course, there's also, I mean, I think no from certain companies. I just saw somebody mention Kino Lorber. TerraVision is great. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about some stuff like that. Arrow and TerraVision are the most fairly priced distributors. Guys, listen, I got an interview with Brad from TerraVision that I'm going to drop very soon. If you're a patron, you can listen to the whole thing already. I talked to Brad about everything, the prices. I talked to Brad about why he left Vinegar Syndrome and went to TerraVision and took a huge gamble on himself. We talked about the market, how tough it is, the business of the market. Are we being exploited? And I asked him that because clearly you can look at what TerraVision's doing price-wise and come to the conclusion that, yeah, maybe we are being a little bit exploited. Because if you can release a bundle like Rumpelstiltskin has, where you get the 4K, the Blu-ray, slipcover, hard shell box, X, Y, and Z for $40, which 40 and change, and then you look at you look at a Scream Factory 4K, which this isn't a great example, but just a standard Scream Factory 4K comes in at $34.99. That's a $10-12 difference. Yeah, some companies, they are charging out the ass. I mean, and I don't need to go into Dark Sky because we already know how I feel about, what they did with the chainsaw set. Like I said, we're cool. Me and them are cool. But my point is, yeah, we're being exploited. Now, it's a double-edged sword. Here's what I'll say about this, and then I'll pull up some more of you guys' comments. This is the route some of these damn companies are making, and some of them don't give us options. Or if they do, it's 6-7 months down the road. But the problem is, if they put out something that's ridiculously overpriced and it doesn't sell, that could delay the standard version. That could straight up just delay or kill a standard version. Because if something doesn't sell through, I mean, listen, I love Synapse. My catalog of Synapse titles was great. Them charging $50 with a slipcover for the Convent is about it. Is pretty wild. And I remember when I interviewed that, my contact at MVD told me, hey, be honest. When you get the release, be honest. Now, I got the standard version, but you're goddamn right I mentioned that. Like, what, $50? What? You know, so yes, we're being exploited. But it's a double-edged sword because it's a niche market. So you either don't support stuff and there's a chance these companies will suffer and we won't get standard releases, or you support it, get screwed in the beginning, and then find out you could have waited X months, a couple months later, and then got something a lot more economic and fair for the price on it, or something just more suited for you. I just want the movie. It's tough, guys. It's a really tough time right now with this community. It's a great time, but it's also a tough time. And I don't think anybody would deny that. I'm always for Arrow Video, Second Sight and Vinegar Syndrome, for their fair pricing. We have another $1.99 from Amareline 199. Your thoughts on the trick-or-treat debacle? Let's talk about that right now. All right. So thank you so much for your super chat. Like I said, guys, I do appreciate the super chats if you guys do, because I keep the live stream ad-free the whole time.
With all these nicknames, everyone that I accumulate like 3 pounds of fat.
All right, so check it out. Your thoughts on the trick-or-treat debacle. Here's the thing I'll say about the trick-or-treat debacle. So I worked all night last night. So I got off of work at 7:38 a.m. Now, the site launched at 11 a.m. my time. So I think it was noon Eastern, so it was 11 Central. I woke up at 1:40. The site was still down. The site didn't go back up for a couple of hours after that. It might have been close to 3 o'clock my time. I know when I tried again at like 2:40, it didn't work. Amareline 199 did not work. Now, could it have worked in different parts of the country? Very well so. But here's what I'll say about this. I kind of got screwed, but I didn't. I thought I was going to get screwed. What I mean by that was when I found out that Diabolic DVD had them on the site. Somebody, I had one of my buddies that messaged me. I woke up to a text and hey, Diabolic has it as well. Which one did you get? And I was like, dude, Synapse isn't working. That's why he's like, go to Diabolic. Luckily, I wanted either A or B. C, I didn't like. I don't like the red. Something about red doesn't fit Trick or Treat. Now, the artwork's great on it, but I don't like the red cover. So I went with B. Or I wanted to go with A or B, but when I went on Diabolics, they had already sold within a couple hours. On Diabolic, they had already sold out of type A and type C. So the only one they had was B. Now, luckily, I like B, so I got B. But then I didn't even know this. Then later I found out that Orbit had it. I didn't know that. Nobody, I didn't know that these sites were going to have it. But my thing is, it's like, they say that breaking the internet is a good thing, but I think people were panicking, and I don't think that people were aware of. I don't think Synapse was aware of how big this was going to be. But I mean, of course, it was going to be big, right? How many? Let me ask you guys in the chat: how many movies out there right now? How many movies out there right now are at the level of Trick or Treat that have yet to had that great release? There's a few. Right? Like, let's say, Blood Beach. That's a title I think a lot of us are probably like, yeah, I'd love that. That's lost on physical media. Cheerleader Camp. And you could probably even say, well, Christian, those even on the level of Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat is one of those titles that is like the last one. The only other one I can think of, guys, is Fright Night 2. The only other title that would be bigger than Trick or Treat is Fright Night 2. And I think you guys would agree when that happens, because I got news for you. That one across the, the one across the seas, it was going to be coming out from Cinedigm or whatever. Yeah, that shit got shut down. I'm sure you guys remember me covering that. I showed the artwork. They made posts about it. Cinemuseum, whatever the hell they're called. But anyway, my biggest problem was this. I think it's cute to do 6,000. Here we go. Well, he's saying no, I'll keep it at 6. I'm assuming somebody else had a comment about this, but thank you so much. Thank you so much, Amarline. So, Movie Junkie John says, I don't know why they didn't just print 10,000 copies instead of 6,666. It's a cute thing, but still just print more. I'll tell you why I agree with that, because I would have had the option. I'm sure Diabolic would have been allotted X amount more, right? So I could have had a better shot at picking A or B, and I would have gotten A had I had the opportunity. I like B. I think B is great. Do I have any criticisms of the B artwork? I would have preferred the original font for Trick or Treat on there, but that's being a little nitpicky, so I'm not too concerned about that. But yeah, I think they should. Here's the thing. Here's what I want. Hey, drop a 1. I'm at the bottom of the chat. Drop a 1 in the chat if you think they're going to reprint more, because it's going to completely sell out. And then you're going to be like, well, son of a bitch, why didn't I get I could have gotten the other one if I would have waited. Drop a 1 in the chat. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but drop a 1 in the chat if you think they'll end up printing more. Drop a 1 in the chat. Oh, yeah. See, a lot of y'all agree with me. But my point is this. I think most of us in here are happy we're able to pre-order it. This is a great day. I don't mean to come across sad about this. I'm very happy. I love Trick or Treat. I think Michael Felcher and Synapse literally are going to do the best job out of anyone. I don't think anybody's going to be able to top what they give to us. And when you put out a release like this is a time where you have a release that costs a little bit more. That's justified. You look at what they give us. I see we got more super chats, guys. We'll get to this just a second. You look at what they gave us for Trick or Treat. We have a CD soundtrack. We have interviews, documentaries. We have a plethora of stuff. It's fair. I'm fine. And I'm fine. I'm fine with what they charged. Even if it was a gimmick price, I'm fine with it, because guess what, guys? After this, there's no reason to buy Trick or Treat ever again. So it will, Robzilla. You wait. It will sell out. So, all right, let's get to these super chats. Then we're going to move on. So it looks like a lot of people are, got it. They ended up getting it, whether they got it off of Synapse or Diabolic or whatnot. So we have 176 people here, guys. Drop a like if you're here. All right, let's get to the super chats now. Mountain Veteran with a $10 super chat. The greatest Happy Meal of all time. It's Ric Flair chicken, Steven Seagal energy drink, and CHH plastic chainsaw. I don't know where you come up with this shit, but I gotta frame that. That's funny. Oh man, let me give you a little clip for that. Thank you so much, Mountain Veteran.
I feel like people sleep.
All right, then we got Shamrock with 49. Dude, thank you so much, Shamrock. After all the chaos today, I wouldn't be surprised if Synapse brings back the limited edition one for another run in a few months. And Shamrock, listen, would I be upset with that? No, I would do the same thing, Shamrock. I'm being serious. Now, I'm not bullshitting. I would do the same thing. If this thing sells out all the way, go for it. Now, would they put out a standard edition after this, Shamrock? That's really the question. I think that could be a possibility. And would I have liked to have had this for Halloween? Yeah, but guess what? Now we have something to look forward to horror-related past Halloween. So thank you so much, Shamrock. I appreciate that. Let me give you a little something.
I feel like people sleep.
We got Horror Orman with a $2 super chat. I bought B, best cover, 77, physical media, PTSD. Yeah, you're right. I mean, but I think when we get this thing in our hands, Horror Orman, we're going to be happy. I trust Michael Felcher 1,000%. I trust Synapse. Don May's restoration work and the things he does are among the best. So the movie's going to look sensational. I have no doubt about it. And we're going to get the posters. My favorite artwork for Trick or Treat. This is where I might throw you guys off. Who remembers the Lorimar home video artwork for Trick or Treat, where it's blue, you got the demon thing, and you got Sammy with the guitar? Not the one where he's like playing and it's like the fire. No. The Lorimar home video artwork. And I think we get a card or a poster for that. That's my favorite. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, Horror Orman.
I feel like people sleep.
And we got Sergio. Thank you so much for the $4.99. You're one collecting most of the orders from Scream Factory have come in with damaged cases. Wish Arrow would take their titles already. Sergio, I've heard a number of problems with the packaging and shipping of stuff from Scream Factory. I will say this, when it comes to Scream Factory problems, Amazon using those little bags, Sergio, are not good. They get trashed, they get damaged, the packages can get messed up very bad. Now, Sergio, I'm going to give you something that might be controversial to you when it comes to ordering stuff, movies. I'll tell you a site that actually has pretty good shipping, especially with steelbooks. I've never had a problem with them. I'm going to tell you who it is. And you can order movies off of their website. Now, it comes from, they're the host, and the other companies that have the stuff, it gets shipped through Walmart. But using Walmart.com to order movies, they use thick cardboard mailers and these like almost airtight cardboard mailers for steelbooks. Every steelbook I've ordered from Walmart, I haven't had a problem with whatsoever. So keep that in mind, especially if it's stuff that's Walmart exclusive. The steelbooks, Sergio, that are from Scream Factory, I've never had a problem with them. But do I think Arrow is a better packaging company? I absolutely do. Thank you so much.
I feel like people sleep.
And then we got Nightmare Films with a $2 super chat. Favorite typo negative song? Mine is Wolf Moon. I'd have to brush up on typo negative Nightmare Films. That's a band that I'm familiar with. I know the hits, but I don't want to give you a basic bitch answer. I'm gonna check out some more of them. And next time I'm live, you don't have to super chat the same question again, but ask me that again. As a matter of fact, I got to go running in the morning, and I would love to do some research on them when I go on my jog. If you have a record, drop it down below, Nightmare Films, and I'd love to check out that record while I'm jogging. So do that for me, my brother. Thank you so much for the $2. I appreciate that. And then we have Duncan Patillo, $5. How do you feel about the practice of releasing a kickboxer? Somebody made a comment somebody made a comment here about this, not specifically this movie, but this is something I think a lot of us want to talk about. How do you feel about the practice of releasing a kickboxer steelbook and then a few months later releasing a kickboxer 3-disc 4K steelbook? I'm gonna be honest with you, Duncan. I was in an interesting position with this. I heard somebody messaged me a little while ago. I say a little while ago, meaning like late last year, early this year, and they said, "Hey, there's a steelbook of kickboxer being worked on." I know because I have elements of something that this company is looking for, and I'm telling you, obviously I can't say who this is, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't really believe them. So when that steelbook came out on Blu-ray, I got it. I'm a huge Van Damme guy. You know, I can't wait after Halloween, guys. I'm going to be dropping some really kick-ass action movie stuff and talking about different stuff and doing a lot more videos in Studio B and doing some streams in there. Right now it's Halloween, so I'm horroring you guys out as much as I can. But it was kind of talked about a little bit in public knowledge that Kickboxer was going to get a 4K. And looking back, I'll be honest with you, I probably should have been more honest with the audience and saying, hey, I wouldn't really waste time or money on this Kickboxer steelbook. And I'm going to tell you why, Duncan. I'm going to tell you why. In America, Van Damme is not looked at as a big star anymore. He's not. Now, overseas, Jean-Claude Van Damme is still an action star in a lot of parts around the world. He's revered. He's loved. He goes on shows still, on TV show. Van Damme is regarded as still an icon overseas. We saw what happened with Bloodsport, an overseas company. They couldn't wait to get their hands on Bloodsport. They couldn't wait. And that 4K, I have it, is sensational. My goal is that, Vinegar Syndrome will do a VSU on Bloodsport. That's my hope. But I should have been more vocal about this, and I should have been more honest about this. I wasn't lying, but I just should have been going with my gut better, Duncan. I should have been telling my audience, listen, Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Time Cop, these are movies that are bona fide classics around the world. it's going to get not only a 4K or something nice, Duncan, it's going to get something even nicer than we could have imagined in America. And for a lot of people that are huge fans of these movies, all you got to do is wait. So it's just the name of the game. I don't like it, Duncan, but this goes back to what I said earlier. Sometimes these companies, if something tanks, maybe they don't see the time or effort to have something be put into a 4K like that. So that's the double-edged sword I was talking about, Duncan. Thank you so much for your super chat. I appreciate that. So thank you guys for the super chats. I appreciate that. Now let's get back to it. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Let's do another comment, and then I see you guys talking about Arrow. We'll talk about this in a second with Arrow's Friday the 13th and things like that. I'm gonna talk about that, and I'm gonna talk about something else that I know. I'm gonna give you guys a little something. I'm gonna give you guys a little treat about Elm Street. A little treat. So stay tuned. Drop a like if y'all want that. All right, let's see. Lawn Furniture got 12 upvotes on this. Lawn Furniture says, let me make this big so you guys can see it. Companies prioritizing packaging, driving up costs for a single release. Not uncommon for special editions being $50, $60 per title now. Companies prioritizing packaging, driving up costs for a single release. This is the thing about what Lawn Furniture is saying. The reason that happens is because I think if you were now listen, lawn furniture, I'm talking to you right now. If you're watching Lawn Furniture, there are definitely companies that typically avoid this at all costs. Now, you guys in the chat, tell me right now, what's the company out there that does not give a rat's ass about packaging, that does not give a rat's ass about making thick releases with books? They don't do this. They don't do that. They give you the movie. They'll give you some special features. They'll give you a slipcover with the original art, guys. What company am I talking about? What company? Not Mill Creek. Not Mill Creek. Kino Lorber. There you go. Sean got it first. Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber. Mill Creek, yes, in a sense, but I don't consider Mill Creek to me is not a boutique label. I don't care about Mill Creek. Kino Lorber is the main one I was referencing. That's why they stand out today. Isn't it ironic that Kino stands out because they don't play the games that these other companies are playing? Now, is Kino's prices better? They're pretty good. But what Kino does do is have legitimate sales. And yes, Steven, you're damn right. Kino transfers are always solid. And you know something about Kino? I'll say this, Steven, what I've been doing with Kino, and I have a video. It's already available to patrons right now. I have a Kino haul I recorded talking about movies that I ordered and movies I'm interested in ordering. Guess what I'm doing, Steven? The Blu-ray releases that Kino is doing on launch are the Blu-ray, when they put out a movie on, but let me give you this. There's a movie they put out coming out called Bug. I haven't seen this movie, Bug. My buddy Justin's been telling me to see Bug. They got the license to put out Bug. They put out a 4K and they put out a Blu-ray version. Both come with slipcovers. Both have the new scan done by Kino. So what did I do? The Blu-ray price was so competitive. That movie's going to look, you guys know just as well as I do. You put that Blu-ray with the 4K scan that they did, the same one on the 4K, you put that Blu-ray in a 4K player on a 4K TV, you guys know damn well that Blu-ray is going to look effing great. And I don't want to wait to get it on a sale. I should prioritize my Kino purchase around a sale, but I've been so excited to see that movie. I was like, yeah, let me get the Blu-ray version. It comes with a slip, all the same features, blah, blah, blah. I'll grab the Blu-ray. It was cheap. I'm doing that with Kino for the most part. Now, there's some stuff I have to get the 4K of from them, but for the most part, they're doing that the same thing that Arrow is. They're putting out their, and yeah, the Kino cult line is great. I've got a number of Kino cult titles. But their business model is a lot like Arrow's in the way they present their stuff to their customers, which is sensational. But Why are companies prioritizing packaging, driving up costs for a single release? Because lawn furniture, I'm going to tell it to you right now, man. For better or worse, that's the way the market is. If I had $1, and listen, I'm guilty of this the same way all of us in the chat are guilty of this, and we can be honest about this. I don't think there's anything wrong with being honest about this. Yeah, it's called what, guys? Physical media. What does that mean? We want it to look good. Why do you think people bitch their ass off about the Elm Street 4K slipcover? Slipcover. Now, listen, you can have an opinion about it, but some people, you would have thought that they stabbed their kids. That's the market we're dealing with today. The market we're dealing with is packaging and fluffing it. The term chunky box is a term that is used in physical media in a glowing way. People love it. How many times have I had you know how many times I had comments on my videos or posts about the Friday the 13th, 2009 4K from Arrow? Wish it was a chunky box. Yeah, you know, Trick or Treat was great, man. Really wish it was a chunky box, though. That's the market. That's not everybody, but that's the market. So that's the reason this is happening. Yes, I totally agree. I hate the art cards. Now, the problem is, Horror House Online, you know what's going to happen? What's going to happen, Horror House Online, is eventually, if enough people speak up, they will get rid of the cards, Horror House Online. But guess what they're not going to do? You ready for this? They're not going to deduct that from the price of the releases. The prices will stay the same. So maybe I myself should just shut up about it. I'm going to be honest with you. That's what, mark my words, they'll eventually get rid of that because eventually enough people will say they don't like them or they don't need them, but the price will remain the same. All right, let's move on to the next question, guys. I see you guys in the chat. Y'all are awesome tonight. Please drop a like. We got 180 people in here. All right, 1996 got 11 upvotes on this. I believe 1996 is in the chat with us tonight. He was earlier. Maybe he left. But it's your time right now, 1996, if you're still with us. 1996 said, same film being released by like 2 to 3 studios and having minor differences. Lots of picture cards of random scenes and useless pins to bloat the release. There was new art for boxes and slips. Now just recycled art. Easily, the price has to be mentioned too. Some of these studios do the bare minimum now and expect more money. Well, 1996, that happens to be basically be what we just talked about with lawn furniture. So we will move on, but that's a problem. You're absolutely right. You know, and there's the double side, like Pluto said. 100%. I'll never understand the people on boutique forums who pride themselves on turning their noses up at fans who want fancy packaging. Pluto, that's the thing, man. If I was going to make a physical media label or studio or do like a label, like if I was going to do video CHH and I was going to get the license to put up movies, Pluto, yeah, you have to keep that in mind. You want to do stuff that is going to be catching to the eye because it's, you know what, Pluto? It's not that much different from what they did back in the day in the VHS era. You can take those fancy artworks and paintings and awesome drawings that they made for cheap movies like Rotor and American Gladiator 2020, whatever it's called, or Texas Gladiators 2020. You know what I'm talking about? Look that up, Pluto, if you don't know what I'm talking about. These cheap-ass movies, they gave them these elaborate... Guys, it's the same thing. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Tell me when I'm lying. It's the same thing. They put these elaborate artworks on these cheap ass movies, these gorgeous covers for these cheap ass movies. Now, cheap doesn't mean necessarily bad. My point is, these cheap ass movies. They're doing that for look, and I love Vinegar Syndrome. They're definitely getting bigger titles now, but look how much they dress up really cheap movies. It's definitely enough to sway me as a collector sometimes to pick stuff up. And I damn sure would say that a lot of you guys would agree and say, yeah, it's happened to me too. I didn't know much about this movie, but I'd never seen Daryl. But guess what? It's a VSU. So that's the name of the game, guys. Zen says the most important thing, we're going to go to another question after this. The most important thing about physical media releases, mainly for the classic slashers, is mostly buying those classic posters as the front cover. Yeah, Zen, and you know, the one thing that Scream Factory has, I think, done now that I think it's funny, I think people should be more happy about this, is the fact that they've stopped doing mainline new artwork for standard release stuff. The standard releases for the Scream Factory stuff is straight up just original covers. You pay more to get the exclusive artwork, but if you wait and just get the standard version, you get straight up the original artwork for movies. So, all right, there's that, guys. All right, guys, let's move on to another question. Like I said, I'll try to keep up with the chat as much as possible. If you donate, obviously I'll stop, but nobody feel pressure to donate. All right, let's move on to another question. Let's find one with some good upvotes. Let's do one more in line with what we're dealing with. This one says, pricing is getting out of control. On top of that, I feel like we don't always get the bang for our buck. Stuff like steelbooks are nice, but I much prefer content on the discs, documentaries, featurettes. Now, so far, I totally agree with this, the content on the discs. But let me say this. You guys would absolutely be surprised how many times I review a movie and I talk about how great the features are, or, hey, they actually went out of the way to do this, this, or this. And people will still just say, well, here's the thing that kills me. I'll go out of my way sometimes to review a title, talk about the features, and people will say, nah, it's not worth it for 2 crappy features. And I went into detail about how lengthy they were, how good they were, how informative they were, how well they were produced. But when you have comments like that, you can clearly tell that those are people that don't they either need to justify that they didn't want to buy this to themselves, or they just don't care about features altogether. You know, so, but that's not important to some people, is my point. Features are very important to me. I look at a boutique label, guys, as an encyclopedia for the film. I look at a boutique release should be an encyclopedia for the film. And what I mean by that is, I want to see the movie, hopefully in as great quality as it can be. I want it to sound and look great, or at least good enough. And I want to be able to learn everything I should be able to learn right there on the disc. I don't want to go on Wikipedia and read about it and get hearsay. I don't want to have to go to search out interviews and watch that. I want that release to be an encyclopedia for the movie. Now, let me tell you something. When y'all get Trick or Treat from Synapse or Red Shirt Pictures, it's going to be an encyclopedia for the movie. Mark my words. You will be able to pop in those discs and you will be able to probably learn every single thing you could possibly know about that film. That to me, that's what physical media is. That's what I love about it. You get it straight from the source. You know? Here we go. X-ray. Now this one, I can't wait to see what people. Now I'm going to open this one up for the chat to respond to. X-Ray 44 says people who shill blindly for boutique labels and won't hold them accountable when necessary. That's a thing, I guess. You know, I'm only going to speak for me. When I review a movie, I'm going to be honest about what I think about it. Now, I try to approach my reviews in a positive way. You know, there are times where I'll say, for instance, Stepfather, I'm like, look, this is not going to be the best 4K you've ever seen. Is it an improvement over the Blu-ray? Oh, absolutely. It's an improvement. But the movie is not shot in this really beautifully glossy way. It was dimly lit on purpose to give this look for almost a sense of realism and things like that. But it's not the best 4K of the year by a country mile. The features are pretty good, but think about it. Think about it. Wait to get it on sale. I've been on the internet long enough to where I am beyond the point of feeling like I need to justify a purchase to you guys. Clearly, if you guys saw my chainsaw video from Texas, when I got the Dark Sky chainsaw, I don't think anybody could say, okay, well, you know, and if they sent it to me, which they didn't, I paid for it. And I mean, I'd say I'm not jealous. I mean, would it have been cool to have gotten that? I guess so. I mean, I haven't reached out to Dark Sky to see about working with them to do any kind of review stuff with them. So I just bought that, but you know, I was honest. It was a ripoff. Like I said, I'm gonna be nice because me and Dark Sky are cool now. We know we had emails together, but yeah, it was a goddamn ripoff. You know. And of course, if you get it sent to you, you're not going to be as belligerent and honest and blunt as I was. But the problem comes in is when your audience can tell you're full of shit. That's an issue. And I'm not naming anybody because I don't really watch a whole lot of YouTube reviewers. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't go out of my way because I do it. So I don't go out and watch reviews. I didn't go out and watch reviews of the Chainsaw box set. The only one I saw was Piz's because me and him were talking back and forth about the box set, but I never went out and said, "Okay, let me watch other people talk about the box set." No, I don't do that. I'll be honest with you guys. If you're a patron, you see how many goddamn videos I drop. I don't have time to watch a bunch of YouTube. But I've been around long enough to where it's best to always just be honest with you guys because that's hopefully what makes you guys stick around if you're a viewer. But yeah, you're going to run into that where people are not as honest as they should be about stuff. Or if people just open their mail on video and they really don't get into the release to be able to give you much of an opinion on it. That's an issue. I have nothing against people who do that. Make whatever kind of videos you want. But I do my best to make sure that when my audience watches a review from me, they walk away a little bit more educated on whether they walk away knowing whether they want to buy something or not. You know, that's my goal. When I do a review for a movie, my goal is for you to say, okay, now I had some questions answered about this. I either know now that I want to pass on this, or I know now that I want to get this. Okay. That's the way I roll on this channel. And yeah, so that's where we'll leave that off. Sergio Garza with $1.99. Thank you so much. Give me a thick ass box and a poster. Hey man, I'm with you. A lot of companies that they know that's what people want. They know that's what people want. We got 210 people, or have 202 people in here right now. Thank you so much for watching, guys. All right, let's continue with another question. Oh, let me give you a clip for that. Thank you so much.
I feel like people sleep.
And I appreciate you, D, for trusting my opinion. I really do. Horror House Online says, I have no problem with delivering justified criticism, but I'm going to stop blind buying subpar films for Vinegar Syndrome. Absolutely not. Give me all the schlock. And hey, at the end of the day, Horror House Online, we can talk about this all day, you know, but yeah, and that you're a grown-ass person. That's your own choice, you know. I'm going to stop beating myself up over it. I'm going to stop beating myself. All right, guys, let's see what we got next. This kind of goes over what we talked about. Price. Let's see. Let me find something good. This is somebody talking more about collectors rather than the studios. I love Time Cop. Perry fan, what is your question about Time Cop? You're saying you just want a 4K of Time Cop? Thank you so much, Charlie. Yeah, drop a like, guys. Got 197. We're hovering around 200 right now, which is incredible. All right, check it out. Cinema Skin says this. My problem with physical media comes from a lot of people not prioritizing the film inside the package. They buy a nice edition of a film from a boutique label because it matches their shelves, not because they love the movie inside. The packaging and posters and lobby cards and hardcover books and whatever else they can definitely overshadow the movie itself. People want trinkets, not films. Again, this goes back to what we talked about. The reality is, this is what the market is asking for. It just is. Now, right now, it's an interesting time because right now we're seeing how far can it be pushed. Right now, we're finding out how much can we stretch people's hand out to grab something. How much can we stretch their wallets for something? Without talking about the chainsaw set anymore, because like you guys said, I need to stop talking about that. There's a release for never-ending story that is supposedly very expensive. We are reaching past the point of premium, guys, and there is now a level of physical media called super premium, in my opinion. That's where we are at right now. Super premium physical media. And that's all well and good as long as it's not the only option. Because the problem is, if that starts to become the only option, we have serious problems. Usually, it's not the only option, but the problem is it could be for some companies. It could be for some companies, and that's what we need to worry about. This super premium line of movies. You know, as long as we have the options available to us, guys, we're fine. We'll be okay. Right? So we'll move on from there. You guys are talking about Texas Chainsaw 2 in the chat. I love Texas Chainsaw 2. All right, how do you guys feel about this? Scalpers snatching up supply of very limited releases, then turning around and selling them for double or triple of what they paid. This is something I think was going on with some of the steelbooks from Walmart initially when they came out. I remember that being a problem. Now, some sites are being very good. I think Diabolic's really good about this. They limit what you can buy. They limit the customers on what they can spend. You know. So, scalpers, I don't think anybody's going to disagree that this is a problem. And companies that are public companies or private companies need to curtail it themselves. They have a duty and a right to do that. You know, especially with these hot ticket items with movies like this. The Terrifier 2 VHS resellers aren't seeing the return they're hoping for. It's so funny. Like, that was such a fun thing. Now nobody talks about it. Nobody's excited about those VHS. It's like, it just, you know, it's over with. This is an interesting one. I have an interesting take on this, guys. I have a very interesting take on this. Horror Reviews says, don't forget about AI upscaling, ruining 4K upgrades. Now, here's the thing. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. In my opinion, do I think Jaws 3 being upscaled is crazy? I do. I mean, I'm not upscaled, AI'd. Yeah. It's wild to watch that. People aren't happy. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. If they would have just taken the negative for that movie, which was shot in 3D, and tried to do just a natural 4K of it, it would have looked like shit. It would have looked like shit. I got news for you guys. When part 3 of Friday the 13th comes out on 4K, it's probably going to be, well, I don't know if it'll be upscaled, but I will tell you this. I will tell you this. Mark my words. God is my witness. Strike me down if I'm lying. When Friday the 13th part 3 comes out on 4K, if they don't do any AI, if they naturally just take it, it's going to look like shit. It will not look any better than the DVDs or Blu-rays because of that 3D filming that they did. It does not leverage itself well to 4K. It doesn't. It doesn't. So my point is, I understand to a certain degree why they decided to take Jaws and do that. But there's a lot of us in here that are, I'd be lying if I said, here's the thing. Anybody that watches this channel, let me make myself big. Anybody that watches this channel can clearly tell history is very important to me. What have I been doing? Somebody just mentioned something on that they liked. Joey D with the Alf on the cover. Thank you, Joey D. I love Alf. Christian, love the old DVD reviews you've been doing. I love 4K Blu-ray, but I still buy. Thank you, Joey D. Here's the thing. History is very important to me. The releases and stuff like that means a lot to me. I love history. So I will always prefer to have a shitty 4K of an actual camera negative of a 3D movie over AI. But the thing is, I know for a fact. So I'm not advocating for AI upscaling whatsoever. Nada. I will never advocate for it. But here's the thing. Mark my effing words, people. Somebody clip this. When Friday the 13th hits 4K, if they don't AI it and they naturally just do a 4K from that 3D camera and it looks like shit, and people are going to say, this barely even looks like, this doesn't look that great. People will bitch and complain about it. They won't meet it halfway. They won't say, wait a minute, this one was shot in 3D. I don't think this is, blah, blah, blah. No, they will shit on it. And if they do the AI, they'll really shit on it. And I can't argue either way, but my point is that's why they AI'd Jaws 3. I agree, Ricky. I totally agree. They should do both. And the interesting thing is, Ricky, you do both, you'd be surprised at how many people might say, the AI is obviously AI, but like I think it looks cooler than just the regular upscale of that 3D movie. What do you think? I think I saw Brandon. He said AI upscaling is absolute trash no matter what. The film print is always going to look better. Let the grain be the grain. AI upscaling will never match or exceed film stock. Film stock. I like how Brandon said film stock twice just to make sure. AI upscaling will never match or exceed film stock. Film stock. Let's do a few more questions, guys. That's the thing, D. I really try to do this on this channel. Yeah, I really do. Like, I really want to help educate and help people understand things. Because when you start to learn and understand stuff, D, then you're not as bluntly critical about stuff when you just don't understand or you're ignorant. Not in a mean way ignorant, but just like the definition of ignorance, not knowing, having an opinion or thinking something a certain way without having knowledge about something. I really want to learn and do that kind of stuff. So, all right, guys, let's move on to a couple more questions in here. This is your comments and complaints. A lot of the stuff is the same. Spider-Man says Warner Brothers Discovery and Paramount not releasing their old Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon shows on Blu-ray. I totally agree. Now, there's a few things cartoon-wise that have come out on Blu-ray, but I don't even think that was either one of those. I know Hanna-Barbera is pretty good at doing their shows, like Flintstones came out on Blu-ray, and they actually did a great job on that. But I totally agree. They should do that. There's still a market for that stuff. I totally agree. Spider-Man. Okay, so we got something from some overseas people. And we've actually got let's see what this is, guys. Rights issues preventing some movies being released in certain countries, even today outside of the original. The new trilogy and H2O, the rest of the Halloween franchise, remains unavailable in 4K or even Blu-ray in the UK. I'm still waiting on EEAAO to get a physical release here. And then there's stuff like Monster Squad, The Blob, not having any physical media release here, not even by a boutique label, when they're beloved horror movies that would sell incredibly fast. Well, it's interesting, because I feel like physical media is more prevalent overseas than here. When you look at the stuff that y'all put out and the quality. I don't really have anything to add to that except, that sucks. This is an interesting one. Natural Lawman 2965 says the potential end of potential end of production on 4K players long term. You can buy all the media you want, but what happens if players are discontinued? And Nuclear actually says something I was going to mention. I think when Sony and PlayStation stops having a PlayStation 5 that has a disc drive in it, or Xbox, then we might need to worry. Because let's not forget, people, what made DVD finally become the household item? What made DVD finally overtake VHS? The PlayStation 2. What made Blu-ray win the physical media wars against HD DVD? What made Blu-ray win the physical media wars against HD DVD? There's nuance to this, but at the end of the day, it was the PlayStation 3. Okay? So Sony has a lot of say in stuff like this. So I wouldn't worry about that right now. My issue is they should be selling players. The manufacturers should be in partnership with the companies that put out the movies. I don't know if they are or not, but the players need to be basically a sell-through price. I'm going to be honest. A 4K player by now, this is an issue with people. 4K players are not cheap. Even a baseline Panasonic 4K player is $150. You can get it on sale for about $130, $120. 4K players need to become sell-through prices. When you start selling 4K, you want to help physical media? You start selling 4K players at $100 with Dolby Digital and Dolby Atmos, or you need to have Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision. Sony UXB X700s should be $100. We have got to get the players to sell through prices. I know for a fact that's why some people that want to get into 4K have not, because the 4K players are expensive. We have got to get the players down to a sell-through price, because right now they're not. And, everybody's struggling right now. So if you want to get into the hobby like this, and you're like, man, I'm really enjoying these boutique labels and getting these Blu-rays, blah, blah, blah. Man, this 4Ks, I'm really interested. But right now, it's tough to spend $150 on a decent 4K player, much less 200 and up. Because the problem with some of these cheaper 4Ks is sometimes they don't read the discs fast enough with how incredibly high the data is on these 4K discs, and people will say stuff like, oh man, like did your disc skip? This is a problem sometimes. What 4K player and TV do you recommend? Sergio, I'm going to tell you, man, I have an LG QLED TV in my living room, but I also have LCDs. In here, I have an LCD. I have a Hisense. I have a Dolby Vision Hisense 58-inch right here. See if I can show you. And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of times, I will review my movies based off of the LCD TV. I'm going to tell you why. A lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times I will review my movies off of the LCD TV. Why? Because 90% of my audience are using those kinds of 4K TVs. That's why. Not everybody can afford to go out and spend the money on the OLEDs, QLEDs, etc., etc. So I make sure I review a lot of my titles on my baseline entry-level 4K TVs, because that's what a lot of people have. Now, for players, the Sony UXB X700, I get the name confused, but you'll see it. No issues with it. And I'm going to tell you something else, Sergio. My PlayStation 5, now granted it's HDR10. I like HDR10. I don't think it's that much of a difference myself. But I'm going to tell you something. My PlayStation 5 is the most solid effing 4K player in the world. The most solid 4K player I've ever had. I love my PlayStation 5. My PlayStation 5 is effing dynamite. That's ridiculous. Ultimate Gamer, I read about that. Sony's losing their mind. Absolutely losing their mind. Sony's stupid. They should be selling the systems at a sell-through price. And the game, it's crazy. All right, guys, let's do a few more questions. Let's see. A lot of people have the same complaints. Count Acula is wishful thinking, but physical media needs to make a total comeback. Streaming and all the other services are getting so annoying to deal with. We need video stores again. Wishful thinking. Streaming's here to stay. That's just, look, streaming's here to stay. It just is. Streaming's not going anywhere. You know, that's just the world we live in. Do I think eventually there'll be video stores? I think they will be a couple here and there as nostalgia places. Places that you go just for like for fun. Sound bars, Polk Audio makes really good sound bars. I have listen, I'm gonna tell you guys something right now. I'm not bullshitting. I have a base model, like 8-inch or 10. It's maybe let me look it up. I'm gonna tell you, because listen, I'm a budget guy. I'm gonna show y'all something and I'm gonna swear by it. I have two of the, let me find it, guys. Here we go. Here we go. Now in my living room, I have a nice, I don't remember the model. It was not cheap. I got it on sale. It was around two something. I got a nice Sony Dolby Audio soundbar with subwoofer. It's phenomenal. But let me tell you something, for a lot of you guys, because I know some of you guys, you got your movie rooms, they're not big, and some of you just want something that works good. That's not your TV speakers, because once you start using something else and then go back to your TV speakers, that's when you realize how shitty your audio is. I'm not bullshitting. There ain't a damn thing wrong with these. $39.99, the 2.0 on sound bars. If you're just somebody that has a chill little room with your movies, I'm telling you right now, there ain't a damn thing wrong. I have this in my 80s movie room. Listen to me. That little thing sounds pretty damn good. The balance is not bad. It has a few modes, music mode, voice mode and stuff. I use music mode. There's actually some decent mids and low end to it, especially if you have it close to a wall. If you have it close to a wall, you'll get some extra low end in the dB. Listen, for a lot of you guys, there ain't a damn thing wrong with these. There's not a damn thing wrong with these. I'm just saying. All right, guys, let's do a few more comments, and then I am wearing thin. I'm getting very tired. I've been up all day. Let's see. Again, kind of the same thing, but these boutique labels seem to raise the hell out of their releases and people still buy them. It's cool to buy physical media, but don't buy them when they're 30 plus. People, well, okay, let me finish. People need to stop buying these releases when they're priced so much. Don't buy them and make these companies know that they're nothing without you and you're not paying. That's true, but boutique labels selling. Here's the thing I realized. Let me say this. I'm gonna go to bat a little bit for some of these boutique labels. I'm gonna go to bat a little bit for them. I really wish. Listen, everybody, listen to me right now. I'm serious about this. I want you guys to check out every video I do, but I'm gonna give it to you guys straight about something. When my video, listen, guys, when my video drops with Brad from TerrorVision, and he explains to you, the audience, how much it costs to license, produce the titles, make the cases, how much it costs, I think some of you will be surprised. Okay? And here's the other thing I will say. When it comes to let me read the comment again. Make these companies. I guess that's what I was getting at. I'm sorry. I guess I was getting at. So listen, if you guys want to check that interview out already, I'm not going to drop it tomorrow. I'm probably going to drop it Monday. That interview will probably be out Monday. But if you want to listen to it now and enjoy it this weekend, you can sign up for the Patreon for $1 and see a bunch of other videos that I haven't posted yet and will have posted this weekend. But that interview with Brad, guys, you're going to want to watch that. You're going to want to watch that interview with Brad. Because I didn't just get him on the show. You guys know how I operate. I didn't just get Brad on the show to be like, all right, Brad, so what movies do you like? Are you guys going to put out Elves? Which I did ask about that after the fact. And he says, listen, I can't publicly talk about movies we're trying to get. It doesn't work that way. But if you guys want to know how a physical media boutique company actually works, you're going to learn. Because I learned. I asked everything about the business model. I asked him how much it sucks. Because believe me, it sounds stressful as hell. It doesn't sound like a fun job. I'm going to be honest with you guys. He gets into all of that. So be ready for that Monday. Okay? Moving on. The biggest issue with physical media right now is the price. New movie steelbooks are being listed at minimum $40 now. People were just charged $60 for the Deadpool 3 steelbook. Okay, hold on. Somebody tell me he's full of shit and they did not charge $60 for Deadpool. And if it's true, tell me what this release has. This Deadpool steelbook. Tell me what it has. I don't believe it. I think that's bullshit. $60. No. We just paid $66 for that Trick or Treat release. I don't believe it. I call foul. I call foul. Let's go to Walmart and look this up because I think you guys are crazy. I really do. I think y'all are off your gourd. $60. I think you guys have lost it. Okay, perfect. Okay, obviously I'm assuming it's sold out now. Akeem said he got it for $29. Akeem, I need you to type in right now where you bought it or pre-ordered it. Because listen, Akeem, here's what I'm seeing. 55, 54. I need you guys to tell me if you got it at retail. Well, that was with after shipping, I thought. Maybe I'm wrong. 55. Oh my God. Venom Steelbook is up for $65. Oh, we got a super chat from Big K Movies and Games. Thank you so much, Big K, with a $2 super chat. I appreciate it. Like I said, guys, I keep these live shows ad-free. so you don't have to worry about annoying ads in the middle of a live show. I know how annoying that is. So the super chats are so appreciated. I do appreciate it, guys. Are you getting the 8-bit Halloween Evil Dead game? Listen, Big K, let me show you something. I can't wait to stream the game for you guys, but here's the issue. You ready to see the issue? I ordered it. It says arriving November 4th. I have to wait till November 4th now. But you will get not only an unboxing of the release, Big K. I'm going to do an unboxing, a full unboxing, but I'm going to stream the games for you guys on my channel. Be on the lookout for that. I think that's going to be dynamite. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Let me give you a little something.
I feel like people sleep.
Let me see what you guys were saying for this Steelbook, because I'm really having a hard time believing this. $30 report. Nobody liked that movie, huh? Were they that much? I got those movies. I got to watch them and review them this weekend, but I don't remember paying that much. I don't remember paying that much. Maybe they were. Venom Steelbook is up for 65? No. It was 55. Disney is greed. I bought it on Amazon for $50.84. It was 55. 2 variations, both 60 retail. You guys are kidding me. Where'd you go, Akeem? I want to know where Akeem got it for 29. He might have been fucking. He might have been fucking around. Ain't no way he got it for 29. Ain't no way. I want to see the receipt. I'm not going to show it on publicly, but I want to see it. You're right, Dino, but there are instances where some titles, they get those steelbook. The thing about those steelbooks is a lot of them are limited, and they don't repress them until sometimes 2 or 3 years later. I'll tell you this, Dino, the Super Mario Brothers movie, it had a steelbook that was like a mushroom, like black steelbook with like a mushroom on it. Dude, it sold out so fast online that Best Buy never even got them in stores, really, because the pre-orders were so demanding. So all the stock went away, and then literally like a year and change later, when Walmart was going to have the steelbook sections take over, all of a sudden it got repressed. And I know that people were pissed that had to pay a lot of money. The problem is it doesn't happen every time, but there's really no rhyme or reason. There is stuff that just came out on steelbook and went away, like The Thing. That steelbook sold out so bad, so fast. I never saw anybody get it in store except maybe one person. Other than that, people, it's like, dude, I never got that. That steelbook never hit the store because people pre-ordered it. Same thing with The Exorcist. The Exorcist steelbook never showed up in stores. They haven't repressed some of that stuff yet. It could happen down the road, but we have another super chat, Michael Pietowski. Let's give him a little something. Thank you so much, Michael.
I feel like people sleep.
Michael says, in Australia, the Elm Street 4K steelbook is $80. Is it cheaper to import it than it is cheaper to import it than to buy it locally? Holy shit. It is cheaper to import it than to buy it locally. What the hell is going on in Australia? Holy crap. You can't have your shrimp on the barbie and get your steelbook at that price. Holy crap. Thank you so much, though. I appreciate that so much, Michael. I tell you guys, it's been a hell of a night talking about this stuff. He got it at the movie shop at Walt Disney. Oh, see, that most of these people here, they can't get it there. I'll tell you that. Oh man, oh man. Thank you so much, Dino. Photos. I feel like people sleep. I do too.
I feel like people sleep.
Thank you so much, Dino. God bless you, dude. I appreciate that. And congrats on all your success per usual, my man. I did not get Drag Me to Hell in 4K, Danny. I passed on it. I watched my Blu-ray. I thought it was fine, and I said to myself, "This is not a movie I'm going to watch a whole lot." I passed on it, Danny. So unfortunately, I will not be able to offer you a 4K review on that. I do apologize. I do apologize about that. If you were looking forward to that. Let's do one more question, guys, because I am wearing thin. Here we go. This is something to do with Walmart. My biggest complaint, let's read this, guys. My biggest complaint right now is pre-ordering from Walmart. 3 times I've had movies that I pre-ordered never ship off, so I got a hold of them and they tell me they ran out of stock, but I pre-ordered it. I don't understand how something can be pre-ordered months in advance and they don't make sure they can fulfill the order. So, I have not ever had this happen to me with Walmart, but I'm not going to minimize it happening to somebody else. That sucks. That needs to be addressed. The problem is there are probably titles that you can only get from Walmart because they're Walmart exclusives. That's just an issue. There's no really suggestion or comment I can add to that except that's just truly an issue. That sucks. We do have another super chat. Let's get to that real quick. We got Sako with a $5 super chat. Sako, thank you so much, Sako. I appreciate that. Let me give you a little something.
I feel like people sleep.
Sako says, do you know if there will be a 4K release of The Curse of Michael Myers like the H2O Steelbook? Sako, I'm going to tell you this right now. When I bought, they didn't do review copies for this, but when I bought the H2O Steelbook that Paramount Pictures released, because remember, Sako, Paramount bought the rights for H2O Resurrection and Curse of Michael Myers, right? When I was talking to my liaison at Paramount, the person that I talked to that, sends me the requests to review certain titles that they come out, I asked about this, and the only thing I was told was, we don't have that on the docket at this time. So there's another thing to consider is that this was a anniversary release. I believe it was the 25th anniversary for H2O. So there was some credence there to do a release for it. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little surprised that we didn't get a little something for Curse this year, because I would imagine that Steelbook sold very well. But you know what? Don't hold out. Or rather hold out some hope, because Paramount's pretty good at releasing stuff. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they may throw in some sort of, I don't want to give them any ideas because, they're not going to do nothing with the Halloween films for the Scares box next year. They'll probably do a Steelbook. I wish it was this year, but it wasn't. It wasn't. Dino, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Wow. Thank you so much.
With all these nicknames, everyone that I accumulate like 3 pounds of fat.
Dino says, we are getting to the point of being, we're getting to the, oh, wow, I'm getting tired. We are getting to the point of being able to upscale ourselves to 4K with a new software, new technology and software coming out, and I feel like people sleep. Oh, man. This I know Dino's just poking fun, but I will add on to this. Did you guys see the backlash that Jason Blum had when he was talking about like these short films that people made using nothing but AI technology? Oh, he got massive backlash on that. His rationale was saying, hey, of course, I'm not trying to make everything AI, but I do think it's responsible to learn about the technology because it's here to stay, which is a great answer. But you know, we'll see. Actions speak louder than words. So we'll find out just how much AI is going to have a say in, you know, what he does in the future. You know, so thank you so much. I appreciate that, dude. Trash movies are being forgotten very quickly. Yes, but guess what? With Vinegar Syndrome around, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Wow, guys, check this out. Troy says, I work in the film industry and I know they film some stuff in 8K and 6K and it's compressed to 1080p. My question is 8K going to become a thing? Is 8K going to become a thing? Hey, Robert. No, I mean, you got me all wrong, brother. I am the biggest physical media advocate you can find. This whole show, the name of the show, Physical Media Can Suck. Here's why. It was a video that I asked people. Here, I'll show you. It was a video where I asked people their thoughts. Where'd it go? See this right here? I made a comment about, guys, give me your gripes on physical media on how it could be better. And we've been going through these comments on here of people talking about rights issues, prices, the way things are sent out, that stuff. And I wanted this show to be a voice for my audience. Physical media does not suck, but it's just a title to get your attention. That's where I was coming from. So I'm not saying that, Robert, but welcome, Robert. Glad to have you. You don't look like a familiar face, so it's nice to, you know, welcome here. So yeah, it's been an interesting show. Somebody even says, I hope you I heard you interviewing Brad soon. Hopefully ask him about Gator Bait set, Big Top Pee Wee, and Happy Hell Night. Also, you know, yes, I did interview him. So guys, a lot of the stuff is about pricing, packaging, and really, you know, studios not advertising their 4K releases. That's an interesting one. Lazy and uninspired box art. The lack of availability to purchase at stores and having to buy everything online. Running out of space. Look at that. Prices are too high. Quality control. Studios not fixing bad transfers. Scream Factory releasing the titles with no new features. Overcharging for pins. Nobody wants pins. Nobody wants pins. So we went through a lot of them, guys, so I'll probably leave that there for now. Mothman, don't get me started. People told me to shut up about the chainsaw set, so I'm going to shut up. Guys, I'm going to actually ask the audience to do something. So I'm not going to buy that big Terrifier bundle, but there is that box set where you can get Terrifier 1, 2, 3, and All Hallows Eve. I want you guys to tell me if you think that getting just the box set with the movies is A, a good deal, and B, worth it. When I already have Terrifier 1 on Blu-ray, I have a 4K of Terrifier 2, and I don't own Terrifier 3. Let me ask you guys if you think that set is worth it for me, because I'm undecided. I think I'm going to wait for just a standard American 4K, but I'm wondering if it's worth it to have a 4K of Part 1, and now the HDR or whatever it was, Dolby Vision with Part 2. I think it's Dolby Vision. I'm asking you guys, do you think I should grab that Umbrella set? I'm going to phone the audience on this one. I want to see what you guys think, if you think I should do that. Not the big bundle with the Legos, just the box set with the movies. I'm going to ask you guys that. Chris called the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. I'm thinking it would be smart. Let me give you a clip, first of all. Apologize. Let me give you a clip, brother.
I feel like people sleep.
I'm thinking it would be smart if Paramount released the Curse of Michael Myers Steelbook next year, 2025 for the third. Well, there you have it. What am I thinking? 2025. That's it. That's totally it. I should have thought about that. Yeah, there you go. 30th anniversary. That's insane to me to think that 1995 is going to be 30 years ago. next year. God, man, I feel so old. Thank you so much, Chris. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Let me see what you guys are saying. Oh, Mark, what's up, Mark? Just got back from seeing TCM. It's so funny. I can't get away from TCM. I can't get away from it. It always gets brought up. Not directly, but oh shit. Now I busted it. Okay, hold on. Let me just got back from seeing TCM on a 35mm screaming. After watching it in 4K, it is crazy to see it again all grainy and scratchy in all its film glory. I wish I could experience that on the big screen. I really do. So guys, I asked you about the Terrifier set. Let me see what you guys think I should do. Now wait till the story is complete and all of them are out, then get the full complete set. But here's the thing, MP3, at that point, is it a double-edged sword at that point? Because even at that point, MP3, I'd still basically own all the movies except for one. I'm at that position now. I own all the movies except for one MP3. That's where I'm at. What sucks is Warner Brothers not releasing Ninja Turtles from 1990 on 4K. Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started on Ninja Turtles. I hear you. You know that there's a German Blu-ray that actually has the movie a little bit more uncut, where you get to see Splinter. I think does he stab Shredder at the end? Oliver Harper, great channel. I've been meaning to interview him. Did a video showing that off. Check that out, Robert. Hey, Oliver Harper, Ninja Turtles. Go watch that video he did. Not worth it for me. I'll get the complete collection of Terrifier when it comes in a box set next Halloween after I come out with part 4. Okay. That's why I'm asking you guys. I'd say wait for the American. The big sell for me is getting Terrifier 3 on VHS. Fair enough. The VHS doesn't really concern me. And I'm not going to argue that too much either. But the fact is, none of that swag interests me whatsoever. I don't need the glasses. I'll be honest with you. The opera glasses that Severin had, that interests me. But I don't care about the tree glasses. No, because they're still making more. It isn't a terrible deal. You got the one prior. So what are you going to do, Troy? I guess it depends on what you want. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I like Terrifier. It's funny to me because I think the issue now, this is just my opinion, Olecki. I respect your opinion, of course, but I feel like the thing now is because Terrifier 2 and now 3 have really become very story driven and become kind of a cut above. Now people can look back at Terrifier 1. Now looking back, I think Terrifier 1 has an even more of a negative reception because it's straight up just a trash slasher film, an over-the-top gory slasher film with no meat on the bone per se. But to me, a lot of 80s movies were like that, and I love a lot of those movies. So to me, Terrifier is just a gory, over-the-top 80s slasher film with no meat on the bone story-wise. That's not a negative to me, but I personally can understand why now, looking back, people would say, Terrifier just doesn't cut it. So that's my 2 cents on that. Just buy Terrifier 3. Okay. No, I wanted to review the Blu-ray for Violent Nature. I tried to order it on Amazon, and I don't know if I got canceled or not. Let me see. Let me see if I got canceled on Amazon. Order received. It just says order received. We'll email you when you have a delivery date. Let me cover up my address. Order received. That's all it says. I need it. I need it. I can see him doing 5 as well. I really can. Listen, guys, we're gonna start wrapping it up. I want to say I had a great time tonight. I hope you guys felt like this is a show where your opinion matters and your voices can be heard. The turnout tonight was fantastic. I will ask, and first of all, I appreciate so much Chris Cullen, Late Late Horror Show, Sacco, Michael Piatowski, Big K Movies and Games, Sergio, Duncan Patillo, Nightmare Films, Horror Orman, Shamrock, Mountain Veteran, Amerline 11, Robert A. Thank you guys so much for the donations, the super chats and stuff that goes into this. It goes into not only making the show sound better, but also look better. I want you guys to see all the money I make from this. I truly put it back into the channel. That's why I've got the nice ring lights. I've got studio lights. I've got the webcams. I try to improve this show so whenever you watch it, it's a cut above the rest. That's my mission here. So the money just goes right back to the channel. So I appreciate that, guys. I had a great time tonight. Oh, hold on. Nobody leave. I'm going to give y'all a sneak. Peek. All right. Now, listen. We are still finding out what the deal is with Arrow in terms of Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and Freddy versus Jason. Listen, guys, number one, what happens in December on a Friday? What's the date for a Friday in December? Can anybody tell me what happens in December? Give you guys a second to catch up with me. What happens in December? Do we know, guys? What's going on in December? Look at your calendars. That's right. We got a Friday the 13th in December. Here's another question for you guys. What days do Arrow announce their new titles? Can I hear from you guys on that one? So I want to ask you a question. If we have a Friday the 13th in December, and if Arrow Video announces their titles on Fridays, what do you think we're going to find out on Friday the 13th in December from Arrow Video? I don't know this, guys, but I have a feeling that we are going to get a couple options here. I think that we may be getting separate releases and possibly a limited box set. And if you say, well, what do you mean, Christian? Maybe not to the extent of the Conan sets, but something akin to that. Because the way Warner has been doing their stuff with Arrow, and if you look at the way Paramount operates, they licensed some of the Fridays to Scream Factory in a way that they had to release them all together. That's it. And I think if we can get like the Jason Slasher collection, that is Friday, Jason X, Jason Goes to Hell, and Freddy versus Jason, some kind of collection, or you can have the option to buy them individually. I think the collection's the way to go, guys. Now, I don't know if March is confirmed, but you'd have to imagine Now we're still waiting to find out if Arrow is going to be able to license the original cut of Jason Goes to Hell, the long cut, right? But here's what I will say. Now, I talked to somebody. I can't reveal who they are, obviously, and I can't go into much detail about anything because it was an agreed upon thing when it comes to Elm Street. I'm going to give you a fraction of a thing. I'm going to give you a little fraction, then we're going to go home. All I can say for now is even if you're a big Elm Street fan, it sounds like, from what I was told, I can't confirm or deny this, or I can't confirm this, but from what I was told, this is all I can say. Even if you're like me and you're a big fan of these movies and you know them front and back, it sounds like we are going to be able to see stuff that we've never seen before. And that's all I can say. What I will do is I am going to talk to this person again very soon. And I'm going to ask if I can obviously not divulge any information about him or whatever, but I can just tell you what I was told. If he doesn't have a problem with that, I will make a video. You guys will get a video from me about that. I will obviously preface this as this is what I was told, but I'm not going to go into super detail or act like it's the gospel. Okay. I'm not going to come on here and pretend like this is a fact, but I will say as much as I can about that. So there's a lot to be excited about, guys, but listen, Jason fucking X is coming out on 4K. There's nothing to be upset about, guys. There's literally nothing for us to be upset about. This is the greatest time of our life. And if you don't like Jason X, you are a stupid son of a bitch. You've got problems. And with that, oh man, listen, I'm excited, guys. Are you kidding me? Like, listen, anybody that watched my review of the 4K remake saw the excitement in my voice. They saw the excitement in the review, and they could tell how happy I was. Just wait till I review Jason X on 4K. Just wait. Because I don't think you guys realize, I remember telling this to Nick. I was like, dude, eventually one of these days I'm going to come out publicly. I'm going to say, okay, listen, you damn right I love Elm Street, but it's probably a tie with Friday. It's probably a tie. I don't think you guys realize how much I fucking love Friday the 13th, the series. And I ride hard for all the films. I will defend all the Friday films. It's one of the most unique franchises in history. It's one of the most evergreen franchises in the world. What do I mean by that? The movies just never go out of style. The beauty is that Friday the 13th happens sporadically throughout the year. Everybody's going to be bummed out when Halloween's over and the spirits go away. Well, guess what? We have a Friday the 13th in December. Jason's back. Guys, we've waited a long time for stuff like this. When this 4K stuff started taking a hold, we had ideas about how cool this would be or this would be. Listen, Scream Factory had their shot. They had their shot. It's Arrow's turn. Okay. And with that, I'm going to say this. I had a great time tonight. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I can't wait. I can't wait for this, guys. This is going to be great. We have so much to be excited about. Listen, I want you guys to go right now, and before you go to bed, I want you to watch a Friday the 13th. I'm going to watch I'm going to put on Jason Lives. I'm going to go relax. I'm going to go to bed. I had a great time tonight with you guys. You guys were amazing. If you do me a favor, please drop a like before you take off. Have a great weekend, guys. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Have fun, but be safe. If you're drinking, Uber it up. Call somebody. You know, holidays are coming. It can be stressful for people. Holidays can get people depressed. Take your time. Reach out to people. You know, it's a great time, but it's a stressful time. Okay. We're going to have a great rest of the year on Planet CHH. I can promise you that. We're going to be doing some more non-horror stuff soon. I've got some really cool video ideas, physical media related, of course, but we'll be doing some stuff in Studio B right after Halloween. Hang tight with me, guys. I'm going to, I think this year is going to be big for this channel. We're at this point right now where we're starting to get our footing. I'm starting to reach people. People are finding the channel. I've been going hard now for a year, doing the shorts. Videos are doing good. The growth is happening. I'm seeing new faces. There's a lot of good things going on, right? I think this is going to be the year for us. I think Planet CHH, I really feel like 2025 is where we're going to start really having our voice heard on this channel. So listen, if you're a fan of this channel, you like the channel, man, share it out, share the video out every once in a while, recommend me to somebody, just tell them to give me a shot. That's all I'm asking for is a shot. Give me a shot. I'm not asking for you to just blindly subscribe. Give me a shot. Okay. That's all I'm asking for. God bless you guys. I want y'all to have a great night. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. This is your boy CHH, and I'll see y'all next time.